Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, Mono Black Week rolls on, this time with Adventure Nights. Adventure Nights. It's a little bit of tribal, it's a little bit of value, it's a theme deck built around a bunch of what I would call draft chaff for the most part, but it seems to get the job done. It's a very, very fun deck, and it's very budget friendly. We do have a few rares, but some of them, like Blacklands Paragon, I don't think are as necessary. You could run some other knight in this spot, Midnight Reaper if you already have it or something like that, but I like the Paragon in this deck. The ability to gain some life matters a lot because you end up paying a lot of life with Foulmere Knights and Murderous Riders and Rankle if you have a Lucky Clover on the field. Lucky Clover duplicates an adventure, instant, or sorcery spell. So when you play Lucky Clover, you get to Murderous Rider two things. Your Order of the Midnight gets back 2 creatures. Your Smitten Swordmaster drains for double with Curry Favor. Maybe you saw my Mardu Knights video, maybe you didn't, but this card is such a boss when you're playing a bunch of Knights. Curry Favor, draining the opponent out, and when you copy it with Lucky Clover to hit for 6, 8, 10, it's pretty amazing. Plus you can keep getting the Swordmasters back with Order of the Midnight, which the Alter Fate of returning a card to your hand is doubled by Lucky Clover as well. So you sort of see what we're going for. If you want to play a 4th Lucky Clover, go ahead. I'm right now really high on Legion's End. I'm facing way too many zombie hordes and way too many piles of creatures to not run Legion's End right now. Foulmire Knight being duplicated to draw 2 cards is sweet as well. So you see all the adventures. We've got 16 adventures. After that, Blacklands Paragon gains a little life back and often functions as a Doomblade. You just kill something that's attacking you or blocking one of your knights by giving Death Touch and Lifelink to another knight. Knight of the Ebon Legion is just a great knight. I probably don't have to explain that very much. And Murderous Rider, of course, kills everything, but what is Rankle doing here? Is this the kind of deck for Rankle where we're trying to draw a bunch of cards and get a bunch of value? Yes, it is. The most commonly used mode for Rankle here is A, attack that Planeswalker and kill it, and B, each player sacrifices a creature. Foulmire Knight is just a 1/1 Death Touch. Smitten Swordmaster is just a 2/1 Lifelink. Like, Order of Midnight is a 2/2 flyer can't block. Most of the time, these are pretty bad creatures for Constructed. They're not on par with what the format is doing. So a way to get like one more coupon, one more use out of them is to send in Rankle, sacrifice, say, your little Foulmire Knight, and the opponent has to sacrifice a real creature. Then you use Order of the Midnight, get it back, draw some cards, do it again. So there's a ton of value baked in. And it's not quite as crazy on the drawing cards as the Edgewall Innkeeper Golgari version, but it's mono black, so you get cool mana. And the cool mana is 4 copies of Castle Locthwain, so that we can start drawing cards anytime we empty our hand, and 2 copies of Witch's Cottage to put a creature back on top of our library. 26 lands in a deck that tops out with 3 4-drops. What am I doing? I think any math that you would look at in this curve, you'd have people running like 22, 23 lands. Why do I have so many lands? I will tell you. This deck is not on par, card for card, powerful enough to hang with other decks in Standard. It just can't. When you're playing a 1/1 Death Touch and a 2/1 Lifelink and a 3/1, like, you're just not doing enough. You're going to get swept, you're going to get cleaned up. The only way that this deck stays in the game is by drawing more cards and grinding harder and doing more things than the opponent. And to do that, you have to hit all your land drops. You have to hit all of them. You want your 5th, you want your 6th, you want your 7th, you want your 8th. Because even once you play out your cards, you have Castle Locthwain to draw. Your Foulmire Knight plus Lucky Clover draws. Your Order of Midnight gets something back, which gets you more cards. So yeah, you want an empty hand pretty much as quickly as possible. It also lets you do a Rankle ability, so you have to hit land drops. You've got to hit land drops. So I just wasn't happy. I tried 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm up to 26. The good news about having 20 basic swamps is you do get to run Witch's Cottage, and sometimes you just win the game by putting a Smitten Swordmaster on top of your deck or a Rankle Master of Pranks on top of your deck, and you just wear them down. Plus, all that mana can go into a Knight of the Ebon Legion. I mean, I'll probably flood horribly in one of these games. I'm going to make a bet right now. I'm going to flood horribly in one of these games. I bet you I still win it. I bet I win despite having like 12 land on the battlefield or something like that against a deck that looks much better. Anyway, that's enough talking from me. Let's dive right in and let the prankle nonsense begin. Kind of a strange hand. Like, if I have to play these early, it's really low impact. If we're against a slower deck, we can grind a little. I don't know about this. I'm not... I am a person who keeps loosely. I know this about me. When I'm curious about a hand, instead of telling myself that I need to mulligan, I say I need to play it and learn why it's not good. Some of you might hate losing enough to talk yourself out of such things. Well, we could just throw this down as a 2-1 right now. And I think... yeah, we're going to need some higher impact cards. Like, right now, we are playing limited, and our opponent is playing constructed, so this is weird. We can get in with the Falmir Knight. The opponent may just trade for it now. Okay. Now, let's see what the opponent's got. I mean, I'm pretty happy to trade for a higher power card. Okay. So now we're probably looking at cycling Falmir Knight, try to get to some bossier stuff. We get some life gain from the Swordmaster. Life gain really helps the deck, because we pay our own life pretty liberally once we find a Lucky Clover. Here's a Davriel. Okay. Sure. Interesting. Let's go ahead and use the Profane Insight first. I'm pretty sure I'm just discarding a Swamp here. And there it goes. And yay, a castle. This can help if we get down to no more cards left. We can start finding more cards.
Time to run.
Down with Davriel, out with Falmir Knight. Our opponent may have another Davriel. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to throw it out there for one discard against a Swordmaster, but we'll see. What is our opponent up to? They're all basics so far. We haven't seen what the red cards do. This Duress will not hit anything. All creatures and lands. It's a sad Duress, but that's another card in our favor. And then our opponent sends the Plague Crafter to work. Okay, like, so far for whatever weird reason, we are lining up pretty well against what they're doing. I'll give up a Knight. I'll use the Profane Insight to draw another card. There's Order of the Midnight to recycle the Falmir Knight and get further into the deck. And just keep the value coming. I'm not in a hurry to beat the opponent. I'm just working my way through the deck to the better cards. Let's Alter Fate. The Smitten Swordmaster might actually do something here if we can build out some of these creatures. So, our opponent might have a Sweeper. I think that's a good reason not to just smash everything onto the battlefield. The way that they're playing this whole thing is strange. And I really want to see more of their cards before I deploy 3 or 4 creatures to the battlefield. So, I'm just going to keep cycling the Knights. Just more cards. Another Davriel, okay.
No one has seen my face and lived, I think.
That's a pretty good voice line. Alright. See what we draw.
I don't think you'll be needing that.
I think the Swordmaster then can go. And we draw another one anyway, like a boss. Alright, let's take down this masked playa.
It's been a waste of my time.
Indeed. Alright. So, I'll put out one Falmir Knight to absorb some Plague Crafting, and I'll put out a Knight of the Ebon Legion. I'll leave up the mana to activate it, making the opponent deal with it with a black spell, not a red spell, like a Shock or something. I really don't know what I'm up against. It's just a pile of cards, so what to play around is sort of hard to see.
The undead make great.
Okay. You've got Liliana. -4. We can let these two die. They're kind of foddery anyway, and if that's all you're doing, I'm just going to kill your Liliana, so I'm not concerned about using the Murderous Rider here. I'm not in a hurry to kill the opponent. I'm still learning what is going on with them. Yeah, I'll just keep defending this. It's fine. It might have another Plague Crafter, but if I take it card by card, I can outgrind whatever's going on here. I think it's clear that their cards are focused on this 1-for-1 basis, not 2-for-1, so I'm just going to take my time. Some of you would play it much more aggressively, that's fine. I get inherently cautious when I'm ahead, and I'm playing against something unknown. Hiya. Let's pump once. And they do have a black removal spell. Okay. Night down. Let's send out the Falmir Knight. Let's send out the Order of Midnight. Let's cycle the Swordmaster. This does open up the Murderous Rider to getting hit by a Davriel, which is kind of bad, though. Yeah, let's hang on to it. Our opponent also has shown, like, Plague Crafter, Duress, but yeah, especially, we've seen 2 Davriels. Where there's 2, there's probably 4. When you love a card, you love a card. And when we don't know what to play around, we can play around what we've already seen. Okay. Liliana's here. Trying to force me into using this Murderous Rider, which I think you have succeeded in doing. I don't want to let this get a zombie. So, alright. We're both down to pretty much nothing now. We'll go ahead and drain for 1 and then play this next turn. But we've got a castle. Our opponent doesn't. So we should be able to leverage this position. We've got 1 more land than our opponent. Sad Duress. It's not a way to do it. Alright. Draw me a card. Okay, Witch's Cottage can come out next turn. Probably getting an Order of the Midnight. Since it can get back another creature. Like a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Another castle. Alright. Let's Witch's Cottage. Order of Midnight. Grindy, grindy. Grindy, grindy, grindy. Draw. We'll have to pay 2 for this one. It's okay. Alter Fate. Order Knight of the Ebon Legion. With all this mana, it's a pretty strong card. We'll play a Knight of the Ebon Legion. We'll play Order of the Midnight. We'll Smork. And Knight grows bigger than a Shock or a Bone Crusher Giant. We haven't seen cards like that. It's mostly black. In fact, the red has only been for a Bedevil so far, which is not exciting. Alright, let's get him. Was that 8? Yeah, I needed to pump, actually. I would have missed lethal. Don't tell anyone. Don't share that with everybody, CGB. Yay for Knights. Go Team Knight. It's a bunch of weird stuff. We'll just throw it on the battlefield and see what happens. It's just a little pile of creatures. It's all fine. Fabled Passage for the opponent. If we miss this next land drop, we're in bad place. But let's send out some Falmir Knights. A row. I'm just doing this now, so if you want to crack that passage and not have to click through my attack step, you can. Now that I've tapped out and played what I'm going to play, you can crack your passage. We don't have to play this game. Not till the end step, not till the very, very end. Alright, you've got a swamp. So getting out the double Falmir Knight makes it so that cycling Swordmaster, we only have to hit with like one thing. Say the opponent plays a 1/1 to grow the knight, but we need to kill that. This is bad. This is bad. Golgari Adventures. And we drew the land, yay. I think we should just attack with the 2 Falmir Knights first. See if the opponent wants to trade a Falmir Knight for a Falmir Knight. No, they don't. Okay. Alright, let's do a swift end to this Innkeeper before something goes horrifically wrong. But god, do I hate having to do that so early. Hate that. Field of the Dead? In Golgari Adventures? I can't even. Okay, we draw Legion's End. We can Legion's End our opponent's Foulmere Knight if we wish. Having that for the Innkeeper, like, there will be another Innkeeper at some point. My opponent's going to get it back from the graveyard. So what's the good play this turn? I guess it can be Smitten Swordmaster. We can just keep getting in with our Death Touchers. We can cycle the Swordmaster and then play it. And we still grow the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Because our opponent lost more than 4 life. So we'll get around making that bigger. And put out this fodder to try to attack through our opponent. There's a Fabled Passage. There's 5 mana. I'm guessing there's more to what's going on here than an Edgewall Innkeeper. Probably some Beanstalk Giant-y shenanigans. Yes, you have 4 lands there. Okay, it's Clover time. Is it now Beanstalk Giant time? It's kind of weird, because Fabled Passage, Beanstalk Giant, they only find basics. So if this deck doesn't have also, yeah, I was going to say Mountain, and Plains, and Island, you're not going to trigger Field with it very often. But let's see. There's an Island. There's a Plains. God, I hate Field of the Dead. Make them stop. Alright. What's our next play, though? I guess I can't really tell, because my opponent has to play out their whole hand and in slow motion, but they'd got there. That stupid Foulmere Knight. Well, let's have a look at the hand using the Legion's End. Another Edgewall Innkeeper and a Fae of Wishes. So they can double copy this to get double tutors. So yeah, we gotta wrap up the game. Big time. Down to 6. Here's my Order of the Midnight. So next turn, if the opponent plays the blockers, they block here, here, here. Yeah, I don't think I can kill them. We need to draw another Smitten Swordmaster is the only way. What can I say? I'm a little bit tired of trying to find ways to kill Field of the Dead decks before they just run me over. That seems to be the only thing I'm doing with Magic right now, and it's not the greatest. Especially when the decks I'm trying to play are dirtily, so... My dirtily decks are not enjoying the experience. Alright, can I get another Legion's End? Oh, the zombies are here. It's on. Game's kind of over. Opponent is down to top decks. I guess that's the bright thing I have going for me. And we've got to make them trade away their Innkeeper. And we can try to get to, unless they gain life, we can try to get to a point where we can burn them out with another Swordmaster. And if the Swordmaster's in the graveyard, that will help. Down to 4. So we could play 2 more Knights or we could draw a card. We have 4 Knights on the battlefield. Let's draw. It might be a land, so we'll draw now. Okay. Just trying to draw another Order of the Midnight or a Smitten Swordmaster. That's all we're trying to do before the opponent gains life. They play a Beanstalk Giant. It's fat. They play this. It's mixed zombies. Is that their 3rd passage? It is. Very redundant hand they threw together for this game. It's a Legion's End. We can take out the Fae of Wishes and get our opponent down to 2. I'm going to draw. Swordmaster is lethal, so I think going for lethal's the play. Yes, 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 yes! I'm smitten with Smitten Swordmaster, you guys. The card is the Bailout. Smitten Bailout Swordmaster. Bailout's the middle name. Yeah. We're just gonna put some dorks on the field and see what happens to them. Just a little bit limited. Here's my nerd's magic. Mono red. Mono red. Mono red. Come on. Mountain. Mountain. Yes. Careful what you wish for. I know. I know. Let's play the lifelinker. Just get lifelinky on the battlefield. We might want to cycle these. They might not be strong enough. It depends what kind of red we're up against. Red green. Bone Crusher Giant. Just kill your things. Gotcha, gotcha. I understand. Alright. Ultra Fate. Get back Knight of the Ebon Legion. Play Knight of the Ebon Legion. Now what? Triple Falmir Knight. Some of these are going to have to come out as Death Touchers. For the love of Pete. Alright, the opponent says grind. I'm red green. Of course I can grind. Grinding's my middle name. We'll play an Order of Midnight, try to get some damage in. I'll play one of my Falmir Knights. One by one, the little Death Touchers can torture my opponent and their large creatures, but I do need to draw cards off some of them, because we're getting pretty low on action. Questing Beast, that can hurt. Like, these can't block it. Questing Beast has that annoying text of can't be blocked by creatures with power less than 2, I believe it is. Alright. We'd be fighting. Nice. Hey-ya. Now we've got a clock on ya. Let's use our Witch's Cottage to get back a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Let's cycle our Falmir Knight to draw it. Let's play another Falmir Knight. And a Knight of the Ebon Legion. And just keep this party going. What is dead may never die. Booyah. Perfect quote for the moment. Come at me, bro. Alright. We're trading. I'm down. I mean, it's a 1-drop for a 1-drop. It's not like I just won the frickin' Magic Championships. Let's go. You want to block? If they have a shock, blocking would be good. If they have a shock. Really torn up about this. Taking it. I think I should just let the damage happen then. I can Black Lance Paragon and draw another card. And cards seem to matter a lot here. Plus we're slowly working down our hand so that the castle can be a thing. Yes, okay. Let's hope the opponent doesn't have that shock, everybody. Based on the way last turn went, I don't think they do. Here comes Paragon. We really need this. We need to intercept this Questing Beast. Alright, 3 life. Take 4. Beast down. Oh my goodness. That is a scary card. That Questing Beast for this deck. Play you. Cycle you. And Schmork. Throw the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Say go. On end step we can draw another card if we like. I think that's better than just getting another 2/1 onto the battlefield. Plus we get to hold up the activation of the Knight of the Ebon Legion if the opponent tries to target it. Another one. That's gross. That's gross. Oh, Gruul, you're so mean. Why you gotta be so gruel? Don't you know I'm human too? No attack. The opponent... Okay, that's clearly a mistake. This can't block the Questing Beast. Maybe the opponent doesn't know that. It has Vigilance, so there's no reason not to attack. And you can see my hand is empty. This is not in my hand, it's in my adventure zone. I guess there's 4 life I shouldn't have. There's a Murderous Rider. Yeah, it's pretty neat. The opponent, if they double block the Questing Beast Knight of the Ebon Legion, I guess I'm really happy about that, so I'm probably just going to attack anyway. Keep the Falmir Knight back to possibly intercept a Bone Crusher Giant, but my opponent is so low on life, they have to block this. This has Death Touch, so they want to block it with that. I see what has to happen here. So full control. All attack. But before blockers can be announced, we've got to swiftly end this Questing Beast before its death-touching self can get in front of my Knight of the Ebon Legion. Yep, here's my block, here's my pump. Giant growth, and you have to take 2 for it. But my Knight of the Ebon Legion gains Death Touch, so that dies. I did not realize Bone Crusher Giant targeted its own... Yeah, oh wow, it's a double-edged sword. I didn't realize you couldn't cast Domri's Ambush or Giant Growth on your own Bone Crusher Giant without taking damage. I wonder if this player did. I wonder if they knew that. Because it doesn't seem like that makes Bone Crusher Giant a very good card in your Giant Growth Domri's Ambush deck. Our opponent's at 4. If they take a hit from this, they die. They might think the Falmir Knight has to trade with something, but this 1 point is lethal. And it looks like they're letting it go. Ooh. Here's my Sword Master. Here's my Murderous Rider. Here's the Curry Favor. So smitten. So smitten. The bailout, once again. I'll try it. We've got 2 Child of Knights, a card that may target nothing, and a 3/1 for 2. Oh my lord. I'm gonna play the Witch's Cottage now, since I have nothing to do with turn 1. A tap land doesn't hurt me, and I don't know if I'm gonna need it this turn, for this game. The Goose! Screw the Goose. Let's hope we get another. Oko and another Goose! Yes! Oko and land. Oh god. Alright. Oh god. And Oko comes out next turn. Oh god. I'm going to main phase this Paragon and then cycle Smitten just to get a damage in, but I want the most power possible on the battlefield to try to attack the Oko. But the Oko will make a 3/3, won't it? Yeah, we can't do that. We gotta let the Oko make this 3/3 attack with it, then we flash in the Paragon to attack the Oko. We need a swift end is what we really need.
Open your heart to the magic that dances around you.
Oh my god, shut up. I hate his voice. Even his voice lines are annoying. Take the hit. Get the Paragon. At least we get to poke Oko here.
Why do you cross me?
Now what else? Order of the Midnight can fly over and keep Oko in pain. And then Black Lance Paragon number 2 might be able to get there. So yeah, let's play Order of the Midnight. Hope for the best. If it's a Wicked Wolf, the sadness will be real. It's just so hard to kill Oko in these matchups because that loyalty, man. That nothing but the tick up. We just need Smitten, or not Smitten, we need the Murderous Rider, but Murderous Rider nowhere to be found in this hand. I can't get more in my deck. What else could I do? Alright, here's another one. One's holding up mana. They might have nothing, they might have something. I don't know. Hard to say. There's a Clover. Well, we may as well get something out of this Clover. Curry that favor. That's 3 for each. And I'm about to lose at least one of these, and maybe 2 from this attack if the opponent has some interaction, something to flash in. They might have a Night Pack Ambusher. So I may as well cash them in. Cash them in, friends. Opponent is not quite dead. They have food, of course. Die. Just die. So going face doesn't make sense when they can sack a food, trade off with a Paragon. Getting them to 1 doesn't mean anything if Oko's on the battlefield. Oko keeps making food.
Your expectations are exhausting.
They did nothing with the turn. It's possible they've drawn all land since then. And a second Oko, yeah.
I'm certain you're quite
Fair.
charmed to meet me.
Fair.
Let's broaden your existence.
Yes! Come on, buddy. That's lethal. That is freaking lethal. Rankle showing up, baby. I get really excited when I win with this deck. More than usual. It must be the adventuring knights. It just... The top deck lethals with this deck feel better than with other decks, and I don't know how to explain it. You see me getting way too hyped. Fist pumping and all this stuff. But it's another hand that looks so terrible, and yet they're all keeps to me. I love you. We belong to the night. We belong to the thunder. More of the golden eggs. So bright. It's so bright, you guys. Why do I do this to myself? I can't. It's like staring at the sun. I can't help myself. Sure. Well, I think first I'm just going to put out a little foul. Well, my Knight of the Ebon Legion can block your Knight of the Ebon Legion. But if I put out a Foulmere Knight and the opponent plays a Legion's End, I lose 2. So I gotta be a little careful. This is pretty good Legion's End bait if the opponent plays it. Piper of the Swarm. Fresh. That is fresh. Now it's kind of a decision, right? Do we play the Foulmere Knights and plan to grind? Maybe I just play a Smitten Swordmaster. It doesn't do anything against the 1/3 though, but I probably have to Murderous Ride this. At some point this thing gets out of hand, and I don't have an easy way to deal with it. Oh yeah, I do. I have Legion's End. I don't know. It's like, do we play the grind game? I think I'll put out my Lifelinker. I think having bodies on the battlefield can be good. And we always end up getting these back later, or drawing them exactly when we need them, right? So our opponent has mana sinks. They're hitting their land drops so far. Risky. That's an easy block because nothing dies. This is a block that could kind of time walk my opponent. Basically, they have to pump the Knight of the Ebon Legion. I trade a card, which I'm up on cards anyway, for some of their time, so they stop getting further ahead. So I'll go for it. We drew the Witch's Cottage to possibly get this back, or something back if we want it. We do need more swamps. So this turn, I think I'll let the opponent try that again, and if they pump the Knight of the Ebon Legion, I'll give it the Murderous Rider treatment. Although they might be afraid to, because I can pump my Knight of the Ebon Legion. So it might just be stalemated. But if the opponent does nothing, I can draw a card with the Knight. Never mind. Same deal. You gonna pump it? No pumps. All right. Drill bit my hand. Well, we definitely use this Murderous Rider now, don't we? So I'm going to take out the Piper because we have Falmir Knight to get in front of the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Kind of nullifies it until it dies. The opponent gets to take one of my Falmir Knights. Yeah. And now they know what's cooking. They know what's up with my hand. And they have a Yara. Alright. Rankle. Hell yeah. Get in there. I'll give up my Knight of the Ebon Legion for either your Ayara or your Knight. We'll do all the things, because fun. All the pranks. I'll drop off this Witch's Cottage. Doesn't mean too much to me. The opponent gets rid of a Murderous Rider. That's dope. Except for the fact that it means they have another one. Which one are you getting rid of? The opponent chooses to keep a Knight of the Ebon Legion, which makes me happy. If we draw Legion's End, we're in a good place. Okay, you have a cottage. You'll put it back on top. Sure. I don't mind that. It takes their draw step. They have another Piper. Surely it's another Murderous Rider. No! It's a Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Ooh. Okay. Weird. So, this turn... I make them sacrifice, the opponent draws this. Yeah, I do have to Murderous Ride something. So let's get a Falmir Knight onto the battlefield. Let's cast our Murderous Rider. Actually, should make our opponent make the decision first, right? About what to sacrifice? Yeah. I love that this Rankle's going to stick around for a few turns. Like, I'm going to torture you. Each player sacrifices a creature. Let's constrict the game. Let's stop giving cards. Because I think I've got the cards I need to win. As long as the opponent doesn't draw a way to interact with Rankle Boy, I'll be a very happy camper. Let's take this out. Yeah, because then next turn I make the opponent sack either the Ayara or the Priest. This thing making rats could be a problem because it gives the Priest fodder. And at this point, we can probably look at the Priest as a 1-2 as long as Rankle can keep my opponent from ever having 3 creatures. There's another Knight. Excellent. We can Profane Insight, draw a card. Swamp. And play this. We can be mana efficient and cast a Murderous Rider here and have a Falmir Knight in the future. Which, whatever we're playing, we're sacrificing, so this makes sense to me. To be mana efficient, because we might need a cheap way to do this thing later. Let's send you to the bottom of the deck. Alright, can the opponent draw a way to deal with Rankle? They draw a Lazatep Reaver, that's a good one. That's not the worst. Down to 8. Are you going to sacrifice one of them to draw a card, or are you going to attack? Draw a card. Well, if you can't play it, I'm going to make you discard it. Okay. Ooh, big mistake with the castle. Big mistake with the castle. You don't want to play the card out against Rankle. I believe this... The Rider, when I'm at 8, is a lot better than having a Falmir Knight around. So we make the opponent discard a card, and we sacrifice a creature. It's a swamp anyway, no biggie. Get our opponent back down to the 1 Ayarya. And now we have a life-linking Murderous Rider to try to buffer that life total. The opponent plays another land. They draw with the castle. Can they cast it? They're digging and digging and digging and digging. Ooh, you don't want that. You don't want none of giving me life. There you go. Yeah, we'll play you out. Charge. We may as well attack with the Rider because we gain 2 life. And the opponent just can't bear it anymore. Perhaps dawning on them that they're going to discard the card they drew. that the Knight of the Ebon Legion's gonna be boss, but we got him. We beat the aristocrat mono black brethren. Sure. Let's night into night into night into night. Just I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Fervent Champion. Is this an Embercleave deck? It may well be. Red and green. The Gruul Embercleave list has been going around. People are like, this beats Golos. Unconvinced over here. But we're going to need to keep our life total high in this game. And it's going to be tough. Okay, now I don't know what's going on. Naya Knights. Gonna want to kill that. Gonna want to kill a few things. Gonna need land. Think I'll get my lifelinker out here to try to buffer the Murderous Rider pay 2 lifeness that's going to occur. Plus it's a good blocker for Worthy Knight, but how about a land? Our opponent drew Tournament Grounds. That's pretty great. So white I get, red I get. What does green do? Green has Knight of Autumn, I guess? Oh my god, we're dead. We lost. It's turn 3 and I'm done here. Never mind, maybe. It's gonna be a long trip back. Wish I'd had that last turn. Oh my god. Triple Worthy Knight down. But Unbreakable Formation is gonna leave a big mark on my soul. Yeah, do it. Why not? It's so strong. No blocks, they're all indestructible. Just gotta take it on the chin. Alright, land. Did it. So we pass with the mana open because it threatens to pump the Knight of the Ebon Legion. So that may intimidate some creatures from attacking. There's a Vanguard. Alright. What's up? End of combat? Perfect. Alright. What's the play? We swift end. What do we target? The Fervent Champion can attack next turn, giving first strike, giving something to the Vanguard. And if this... we were able to brick this turn, the only difference next turn is the Vanguard. So let's take down the flyer before something bad can happen. Another land off the top, hallelujah. We want to leave 3 mana open. Let's cycle a Swordmaster here and get a little bit of life and a little bit of drain. And we start fighting our way back into this. Last turn the opponent decided not to attack into this board. So let's see if that's repeated. A Venerable Knight, sure. That is not what scares me. And they don't. Alright. Swift end. I think it should be the first striker, to be honest. This thing represents a lot of power. It's very hard to block. Can't block it with Death Touch or Lifelink, so I think that's what has to go. Rankle. Rankle can make the opponent give up a creature, but that's not particularly great. It's in the graveyard. Nothing yet. Weird. Well, Rankle can send something there. Unfortunately, then I get attacked pretty badly. Rankle can also sit on defense until I'm ready. We could also play a Murderous Rider, but then we give up a mana. And it's not a good blocker. I don't have anything to do for 1. It would be really nice to, like, I can stack 2 things in front of the Loxodon if I just play Rankle here. Or I could go block here. Yeah. It's risky, but let's go for it. Mana efficiency is going to matter a lot, I think, in this game. A lot. And we kind of need some trades to happen to make our Order of the Midnight better. The opponent off the top. Is it some kind of an anthem? Oh, but they can't activate it. It's 4-color knights, by the way. 4-color knights. Crazy. So what are the blocks? Could do this. I don't really want a 2-for-1. I'm probably taking the Venerated Loxodon. This is a 1-for-1. This is a 1-for-1. This can stick around. The other idea here is that this is a 2-for-1, but the Rankle sticks around, which is a bigger creature. Alright, let's go with that. The Knight of the Ebon Legion, if we draw land, gives us a good way to fill mana with the Order of the Midnight getting Knight, and then we can also play the Knight and another Smitten. Our opponent's also down to only 2 creatures. Rankle giving up the Order of the Midnight. It's pretty good. And there is the land. So we can play something like 2 Lifelinkers. I think what I want to do, though, is, well, Ultra Fate gives me just the 1-2 that I can sacrifice and keep the Rankle. No, I don't sacrifice it. I keep it to block. But we're at 3. Maybe I sacrifice Rankle. Is that what we do? And play 2 Lifelinkers? Nah, the opponent can attack right through those with the Loxodon. It's not very good. So we'll play this. Play this. Get back you? Cycle you? Just a little bit of life here, friends. Just hanging in there. Sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice you. Rankle dies. And I got a blocker. And a whole bunch of lifelink to come. I don't know. I probably could have done better. But I like trying to constrict the game. Let's just make the game as small as possible here. Back up to 6, so I don't have to chump block next turn unless the opponent finds a pump. And did they find another creature? They found a land. 4-color knights. Mad, pure madness. Alright, let's play some lifelinking cards. Try to offset this massive elephant we've been fighting since turn 3. Do you think they run Shock? Do you think they just run some rando pump spell? Woodland Champion. Well, that's weird. Like, what makes that bigger? I guess that's a combination with the Sky Knight Vanguard. Here comes the attack, no blocks. Now that I've seen the champion, there's definitely no blocks. There might have been before I saw it, but definitely not now. Order of Midnight, Cycle Smitten Swordmaster. Probably. Curry Favor, I mean. We'd also just play this, then Curry Favor. It leaves a mana unused, but it does get more lifelink onto the board. But this means I get to cast the Swordmaster after I play it. So we want to do this first, before combat, because the opponent might trade with my other Swordmaster. That puts us up to 4. These attack. That puts us up to 8. And then we play another Smitten Swordmaster with more lifelink to block with. So the opponent would have to find a way to kill this and make a token to kill me. There's a Vanguard. If Loxodon attacks, I'll take it. Because we can pressure for lethal, and the opponent sees that. So I think we've got him here. Let's use Ultra Fate. Let's get the Swordmaster again. Let's Curry Favor. Let's Legion's End. And let's finish it. Another comeback for the Smitten Swordmaster. That 2-mana, 2/1 lifelink showing up. Holy cow. Here comes Valmir Knight, Legion's End, Lucky Clover, Murderous Rider. We haven't done much with a Clover in these games. Seems like a while since I've seen it. Let's hang on to this hand and see what happens. Our opponent, Primo Sleevo, Baby Foxy. Let's go. I'm going to save the Valmir Knight to cycle with the Clover, because it looks like we're going to be playing a control game here. And hopefully we're not playing against a controlled deck, because that would be really, really tough, because we don't have early pressure right now. Temple of Triumph. Alright, probably a Jeskai Fires type deck, which isn't great for us. We can use this to draw 2 cards, we could use this to kill 2 things if the opponent plays 2 things, but they probably won't. Let's get our 2 cards drawn. Bacon. Teferi. I guess I gotta do this now. Draw and draw.
Sorry I'm late.
Bounce the Clover, you say? Hater. Alright. Well, let's play some creatures and put the Clover back out there. This might play right into a Clarion, unfortunately. I don't view this as particularly valuable, and we have backups of this. Yeah, the opponent is rolling. And there is the Clarion.
Don't worry, I got you.
Rankle strong. At least we can finish Teferi. And yeah, let's make our opponent have another Clarion. Make him have it. Shimmer goes 4 deep. Finds us something. That was not a. That was a quick decision. I have a feeling something bad about to happen. All right, 2 more creatures down. Let's play out this knight. We can pump it through any Clarion type thing. If the opponent does nothing, we can draw with the castle. I have ground out these decks before. It's really hard to do, and it depends on if they have cards like Fae of Wishes up their sleeve. Let's see what our opponent finds. They get 1 more spell this turn. It's another Narset. Prison Realm. Okay. Do I take the draw? I guess another Rankle or a Order of Midnight would handle this Narset. So I will take the draw. Smitten Swordmaster. Unfortunately, this is not your brightest moment. Alright, so this is tricky. We want to swift end this, and we need this to resolve. So this copy... Alright, so then this one goes to the graveyard. So we don't get that back. That's painful. I guess I may as well play you out. Make the opponent deal with it. Use their Narset to find something, and they probably won't want to just deal with a 2-1. So one thing I could have done last turn that would have been wise is when the opponent targeted the Knight of the Ebon Legion with the Prison Realm, if I used the Murderous Rider there to kill my own Knight and the Narset, that would have been a good play. And I missed that. Because then I would have a Murderous Rider on the battlefield here. Ooh, hello. Well, this says... This says I can't draw an additional card, no problem. But we can discard. You go here. You go here. Let's make this into a top deck war. Fires of Invention is not a good top deck. Each player discards a card. Remember, if I choose the draw effect, it won't work. Man, it's a land. Land down. Land off the top. What's the scry do? To the bottom. Excellent. Land off the top. I do want to draw more cards with my castle, so let's get Narset dead. Do I use Rankle to draw more cards? I don't think so. Even though it does an extra damage, my opponent surely has more powerful top decks than I do. And I have a draw engine right now, they don't. So no effects. And speaking of that draw engine, let's use it. Okay. Let's pass turn. Putting mana into this, there's no way we could draw another card here. Top deck Narset. Here we go again. You get 4 looks now for a good card.
If you wish to surrender now, I understand.
Don't worry, I can draw a card this turn with the castle. Narset won't stop it because it's the first one this turn. And it's a Narset whiff. What? What? All right, Narset, off the battlefield with you. This will go face. There's no good rankle effect here anyway. And it sounds like some sound bit got stuck in a loop again. I'll pay 3 to draw. I'll do it right now. Wow. I am getting mistreated by the draws. The flood is so real. And our opponent finds Fae of Wishes. They're going to use Granted to go get a card. That's the top deck you need. Really weird to run Narset and Fae of Wishes. I guess you have to run the math on how many hits you have for the Narset still, but Fae of Wishes definitely. Ooh, okay. Well, that's your 2 spells for the turn. You get to put a permanent into your hand, right? And it's another Narset, but... Huh. Alright. By the way, what's up with land? Are we just the landiest deck of all time here? Narset with the search. Narset with the time wipe, but you can't play it this turn. So do I flash in the Paragon for 3 damage that I know can resolve? No, I don't think so. It's fine. This is fine. Second Clover. What's Rankle gonna do? Take out the Narset, probably? But yeah, things are gonna get hairy now. That Emergency Powers was quite the Kickstarter.
I won't forget our time together.
Well, you could turn off the frickin' animation sound. That would be nice. Alright, we know a Time Wipe's coming. What else is coming? I think we'll just pass here. The Smitten Swordmaster's Curry Favor is a lot better next turn. And we can probably draw some cards with the castles. It's gonna hurt. Okay, we're drawn from Dreams Time Wiping. That's gonna be your turn. If we can get enough knights in one place, we can do anything. Our deck is dedicated right now to getting enough swamps in one place, but if we can find enough knights... Alright, I mean... Surely the next card blows these up. Yep. So then you're done for the turn. You've got all these cards, but you're done. So here's Blacklands Paragon. Here is the most painful castle I've probably ever done. And if it had been another Blacklands Paragon, I might have, you know, exploded, but there we go. Let's do some things. It's Solitaire over here. Our opponent can't stop us. Alter Fate. Smitten Swordmaster. Trigger. Also get Rankle. Also get Swordmaster. Oh, that went to the graveyard. Oh, I did it again. I keep on forgetting that it fizzles. When it fizzles, it goes to the graveyard. Bad play. Anyway. Curry Favor. Trigger. Burn them out. It's not gonna matter. Like, I've got a lot going on here. And that is it. We ground the Jeskai Fires deck down with, that is a 7-0 for the Adventure Knights. lock in the prizes. Mythic gems. Whew. Honestly, I think we overperformed. I think we got really lucky. And going 7-0 is not the norm with this deck. It's more of a 50-50 ladder deck, if I'm being really, really honest with you. But that doesn't make it any less fun. So if you have the cards and the wild cards, I don't think it's that expensive of a deck to craft. A lot of the cards I'm thinking of are like common and uncommon. I enjoy the Adventure Knights. A little bit of tribal, a little bit of nonsense, a lot of value, a little bit of aggression. It's kind of this all over the place black pile that is a bit of a break from the norm and a pretty fun take. So check it out. Thank you for watching this video, and next time, as Mono Black Week rolls on, I've got something historic for you. See you in the next video. Goodbye.